Hi, guys. This is Elba with Broken Journey, the podcast, a podcast that talks about broken journeys in life, as well as bonus topics like domestic violence, Hispanic Heritage Month, Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and other topics I will be talking about along the way. My hope is that by listening to these testimonies, it will give you the courage to overcome your own broken journey. Let's create a masterpiece from our broken pieces. Guys, you can listen to our podcast on major platforms such as Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and we are now available on Amazon Music Podcasts and iHeartRadio. So, guys, sit back, relax, and enjoy this podcast. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram at Broken Journey _the podcast. And if you enjoy any of these episodes, please feel free to share them with your friends. We never know who we might be helping in this time in their life. Bye, guys. Hey, guys. Welcome to this episode about alpha females. So, some of you may be thinking, what is an alpha female? I did some research, and when I was looking, this is the definition that I came up with in multiple different websites about alpha females. So, an alpha female is a woman who has embraced her leadership ambitions. She is talented, highly motivated, and self confident. And so, it's funny that I look at this and I was reading and researching and things like that. And I said, you know something? I just realized that a lot of the women in my family are alpha females. And they raise alpha females as well. But yeah, this is interesting because I just thought, oh, we're strong women and we don't take shit from nobody or whatever the case may be. Um but no, we are alpha females, and it's very good to really think about this because a lot of people, when they see certain women, and now there's a difference, right? There's a difference between alpha females and women who are full of shit, women who try to bring other people down in order to raise themselves up, right? This is not what an alpha female is. An alpha female is there to lead, and other things that I'm going to be describing here, right? So, some of the traits that I was researching and things like that, these are some of the things that I came up with. And actually, obviously, it's not my own thoughts or whatever, but basically, from my research, this is what I came up with. Um, I have, let's see, I have several titles or subjects, and then I have some sub subjects, if that's what you call it. I don't even know anymore. uh, but I'm gonna tell you the first one is fearless leadership, right? And then in this topic of fearless leadership, that person, as an alpha female, loves to lead, right? She loves to lead the people that, let's say, are in her team or people that are around her. She loves to lead them to better things. She wants to inspire others and also leave an impact in the world where whatever she has done can trickle down to other people who are inspired by what she has done in her life, right? And there is also high emotional intelligence. Most of the time, the alpha females are good in social events, right? And they can also bring social ease to, let's say, if there's like some tension or something like that. They know how to break the ice, they know how to, speak and make people feel comfortable at the same time. They are not there to make people feel uncomfortable. They're not there to make people feel, lower than who they are, right? They're there to bring them up with them, to bring them to her level. And that's what, is very good about being a leader who is going to be impacting your community, right? And their emotions are, they know how to control them. They have strong ability to hello. They have strong ability to control and manage their emotions. So, obviously sometimes people are going to cry or people are going to get angry and stuff like that. But this person knows, this woman knows how to control her emotions in a time where she needs to control them, right? Obviously, there's certain aspects of that sometimes you can lose control. Nobody's perfect and things happen. But for the most part, they know how to keep their emotions in check, basically. And then we have another trait that is, an obsessive learner. They are reading constantly, feeding their mind. They like to do and be experts at what they love to do. So if a person is an expert at, you know, I'm trying to think of something. And right now I just can't think of it. But let's say, for instance, a person who is, a physical trainer. She will look and find things that is going to help you as a female in physical training, right? Because when you are a physical trainer, there's things that, are different for women's body compared to a man's body, right? So that's kind of like one of the examples that I just want to give out there. And they are very good at being experts at what they do. They take professional development courses to help them to continue to develop, right? And when they are learning these things that they want to be experts in, they make sure that they ask questions. They don't hesitate in asking questions because they want to know more. They want to learn more. And they're good at embracing the challenges, right? Or the, trying to learn more about these experiences. They're very good at pinpointing it. They're very good at, measuring it. They're good at trying to figure out exactly what they need in order for them to be an expert in their field of expertise, right? And another trait is that they're strong. They're strong mentally, physically, and emotionally. And it doesn't have to be all three, right? But for the most part, the mental strength is like a side door into their alphaness, right? It's like they have to be mentally strong in order for them to lead somebody. So they will practice and do whatever it is that they need to do so that when they're leading others, they're not failing them, right? And then another trait is they are sought out by others. They're often asked for their opinion. A lot of people, like let's say you're in a group of females who all work together and stuff like that, they're constantly asking them, what's their opinion on this? How do they, can I get your advice at this? What do you think about this? And things like that. Because they know that this person will give them a good advice. They're not there to put them down. They're not there to, make them feel worse about themselves. They are part of a go-to person, basically, in their group of friends, and for assistance, being mentors. They like to volunteer and give back to their community. They're constantly looking for ways to help others. Another trait that I have here is that they're highly ambitious, right? They feel that ambition is limitless. They seek out mentors, they seek out challenges, and they seek out more from life. So once they are done with a certain thing in their life, they're like, okay, what's next? What can I do? How can I, go ahead and do something else? And this is some of the things that alpha females do, right? And it's so important to know that when you have an alpha female on your side, as a friend, as a partner, as your spouse, know that this person is going to be there to help you if you need their help. They're not there to crush you in any way. They are going to want to help you as much as possible. They're going to be that person who is ready to help you get to the next, let's say, from point A to point B. They're like, okay, they're gonna cheer you on. They're gonna be, what can I do to help you during this, you know, this transition that you're going through? What can I do to help you get there? Or even if they have been in your shoes, let's say that this person is mentoring another person, let's say in the sales force, right? And that person has been through all the obstacles that you are going to be going through as a beginner in sales. They will be there to help you and mentor you and talk to you about certain things. Obviously, I'm going to put this out there, right? Obviously, everybody goes through their own struggles when they are growing in their expertise, right? And part of growing in your expertise is learning through your mistakes. However, when you have somebody who can mentor you, that person, you can go to that person and say, hey, you know what? Today I was looking at, the sales numbers, and I realized that, I could do better at this. What do you suggest I do? Because I'm doing it this way. And I feel like I'm getting stuck. So is there a way for you to help me to figure out how to get there faster, right? And sometimes they'll tell you, hey, you know what? And not sometimes, because when you're a mentor, you will give that person insight on everything that you've accomplished, everything that you've gone through, so that it can help them not go through the same mistakes, right? So that person will say, hey, instead of doing this in your sales approach, why don't you do this instead, right? And I'm not going to go into details of how to do sales and stuff like that, because that's too much. But it's just an example so that you can know what I'm trying to say here. And basically that's what an alpha female is. And I'm sure that you have encountered an alpha female and not really known, and or an alpha male. A lot of the times people talk about the alpha males more than they talk about the females. And I guess it's because they are more, I don't I don't want to stereotype, right? But it's basically, it's shown more as something. How do I describe this? I don't want to be harsh on a man, because an alpha male is great too, and but it's, I guess, it's the stereotypical mindset that some people have, is that when a woman is a strong, she has a strong character, she's very strong at what she does. Sometimes people get, they get fearful, or they kind of feel like that person is being, ridiculous, or the person is trying to be controlling, or, she thinks she knows it all and things like that. And there are women out there who think they know it all, There are some who are out there who think they know it all, and those are not the alpha females we're talking about here. We're basically talking about women, you know, who are doing an impact, who are making an impact in this world, and not only doing stuff for themselves. They're there to mentor other people. They're there to be there for other people. They are there to help another woman grow in their skin, right? Because I know a lot of times, women can feel like their light is being dimmed by either their spouse's success, or somebody else in their company's success, or, you know, something to that effect, and sometimes, and I'm gonna say something about where I work at now. Um, in where I work at now, they tend to dim the lights of certain people, right? And in one aspect, I had to learn to give my voice and voice my opinion about who I was and what I represented and what I brought to the table. Um, because a lot of the times, they thought, oh, she's so sweet and blah, blah, blah. And people will take advantage and da, da, da. I would not let people take advantage of me. No. However, I knew where my place was in certain things. And a lot of the times, guys, you have to pick and choose your battles, right? Because there's some battles that are not even worth fighting for, or, fighting against, right? Because you alone could, just by, and in this aspect, I'm talking about my job, right? Just by my work, I can prove to them who I am, and I can shut them up with how I work, right? But not everybody's like that. And not everybody knows that, you know, they can do more, they can be more. And, you know, it tends to be an issue a lot of times in companies, right? And sometimes it can be in a group of friends. And if you have a group of friends who bring you down, girlfriend, you need some new friends. You really need some new friends, because your group of friends should be there to help lift you, as well as them lifting themselves up, right? And those are people that I look for when I look for females and friends. I know a lot of people, and I'm not doing this to brag. I know a lot of people in my 50 years here in this earth. However, I don't consider every single person that I know my friend. Some of them are acquaintances, some of them are people I know, right? And then I have those females or those male friends, because I do have male friends. I used to hang out with a lot of guys more than I did girls when I was in middle school. And, I used to hang out with both, but for the most part, I used to hang out with a lot of guys because there was less gossip, less mierda, shit in Spanish. That's what that was. But, I think understanding why an alpha female is who she is, it doesn't take away, an alpha female won't take away from you, right? If anything, she'll enhance who you are. She'll enhance your I don't want to say your life, right? Because that's not basically everything. But an alpha female will definitely help you, bring you to the forefront when you're looking for that, right? And like I said before, they seek out being mentors. They seek out challenges, and they always looking for more in life, right? And not to the fact where they're not satisfied with what they have. What I'm saying is, when they seek out more in life, they're looking for ways to plant seeds here, plant seeds there, plant seeds over here, plant seeds over there. And basically, the fruits of their labor is proof of who they are, proof of what they are giving back. And that's the main focus, right? Giving back. Being an alpha female has its pros and cons. Sometimes people can be jealous of you for being an alpha female. But once they get to know you and they know what you want to do, a lot of the times they embrace you. And those who don't embrace you, basically, bye bye. I don't need you in my life, right? Um, because you don't want somebody who's gonna drag you down. You don't want somebody who is trying to dim your light so that they can look better than you, or try to shine brighter than you. Honey, we're all gonna shine bright together if we're in a group, whether you're a female, a male group, or whatever. And to be honest with you, being being an alpha female and having an alpha male near them to help them through things is also amazing, you know, because working together, they're able to have a lot of things get done, right? And it doesn't necessarily have to be in a relationship. There's so much typical behavior behind a male and a female being friends. Some people automatically assume, if you have a male friend or a male mentor, that automatically, you guys are involved with each other. No, that's not always the case. You know, there are male and female who are platonic, who are just friends. There's nothing involved but helping each other grow in life, or helping each other in a mentorship program, or in something that is going to benefit a community, right? So, anyway, guys, I could keep going on and on about, being an alpha female, and all the things that come with being an alpha female. And some of them, again, can be negative, right? And it's sad to have to experience that. But guess what? Again, the alpha female are in control. They are in control of their emotions. So, guys, I hope that this quick episode has helped you. And if you are an alpha female, give yourself a pat in the back and say, girl, you've been doing good. And don't forget, as an alpha female, that you want to be able to mentor someone else. So, as you're going up to the top, as you're growing in your profession, Remember to bring somebody up with you. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this quick podcast, and I will see you on the other side. Bye. Hey, wait. I'm not done. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram, guys. It would be great to have you on there. And if there is something that you would like to listen to, or if there are any subjects you like, let me know. And maybe we'll have it on our show. Bye, guys.